What's going on, everybody? This is the third podcast of the Trainwreck Comedy Podcast. My name is Adam.
I'm Mike. Welcome.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
Very good. How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving wasn't bad. I spent it home, small Thanksgiving, me and the girlfriend. It was good. You know, I didn't have the whole family drama this year like normally.
No, I did.
Did you?
You know what it was? This year was a little different. I always get really drunk the night before Thanksgiving. I go out with all the amateurs, but actually we had our show that night at Farrell's, and I ended up staying out and got really drunk. And I'm used to having a hangover the next day, but I get to kind of let it die down a little bit. This year, my cousin had to go to the Jet game that night, so we had to have dinner at 2:30. So I'm with my family and all my hungover glory all morning, and I had to be at my aunt's house at like 11:30 in the morning, hungover, and it was just pretty severe hangover. So they were very proud of me this year.
That's excellent. You know what I do for Thanksgiving every single year? I have the same type of breakfast because I don't want to get too filled up. I have olives, I have pickles, I have walnuts, and I have a shrimp ring. With cranberry juice.
Like a pregnant chick.
Basically.
Yeah.
They call that my pregnant breakfast. But I have it every single year for Thanksgiving breakfast. It's delicious. Like everybody says. I'll eat it every single day, too, if I wanted to. Yeah. But I got to have some kind of normalcy in my life.
That does sound delicious.
Yeah. So I should bring that up next time I do a show. You know, I did a show back on Wednesday. It was a pretty good show. What happened, though, is that people before me started bombing on stage. And, you know, if you're a comic, you know bombing on stage is the worst thing you can do. You go up there, tell your joke, and there's nothing. Just crickets. A couple people actually bombed in front of me, and I felt really bad for them. You know, I've bombed on stage before, but you have a pretty good bombing story, right?
I do. The first time I bombed, I was up fourth. I was in the middle somewhere, and two of the comics were black, and they decided to bring their entire families. So half of my set were black jokes, and I decided not to take a look in the room before. I wrote my set list up, and I went in there, and they were inches away from murdering me after the show. I thought I was going to get stabbed, but it got pretty wild. I got lit after like 5 minutes because it was just getting pretty ugly in there. That was probably the worst bombing story. The first time I bombed, I was always expecting it. I did really well my first few times on stage, then I did bomb, but I was expecting it. It's one of those things that's going to happen to any comedian, no matter who you are. But the one where I almost got murdered was probably the worst one.
I can imagine, dying on stage not being fun.
Yeah.
I was the same way. When I first started doing comedy, it's only been a couple months for me so far. I had a couple of really good sets when I started off. I'm like, I'm the man. This is it. This is my calling. It's where I am. Then I did the Long Island comedy contest that ran at Governor's. And I went on stage thinking, you know what? There's some good comics here. I think I'm better. I've been doing this for, 1-2 weeks? Went on stage, started telling my jokes, nothing. No reaction. I even forgot part of my set. I was going to do a brand new joke that night, and I forgot the whole thing because it was just so bad seeing so many people and not even nobody looking at me at that point. So I did old stuff. It threw me right off. And it was terrible. It ruined, it ruined my night.
Yeah.
It ruined a lot of people's nights also. And, I've also done a black joke before with a black person literally this far away from the stage. I purposely not looked at them the entire time when I did the joke. I knew they were there, but I looked totally the other way, just hopefully that they weren't paying attention at that point.
Yeah. One of my worst, though, was I was doing, it was actually kind of a fundraiser, and there were, couples there, married couples. It was an older crowd, and I decided to tell rape and abortion jokes. That doesn't go over too well, and I was they were pretty nasty, and then they didn't want me back after that. So speaking of rape and abortions, I guess Kate Middleton is pregnant now. It's the royal pregnancy, but I don't know. They decided not to keep it.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine if they had an abortion, the royal abortion. How awesome that would be! I imagine it would be very regal and very proper, and that whatever thing they used to suck the thing out would probably be made of gold with the royal crown jewels upon it.
It'd be the most elaborate vacuum cleaner of all time.
Exactly.
And definitely make Princess Diana be like, "Oh wow, my story's not the worst thing anymore."
That wasn't so bad. They freaking have those little forceps when they take the limbs off the kids. I don't know, but it would.
What are you talking?
I don't know where I'm going now. I'm just talking. I'm very excited about.
You know a little too more about that than I think you should.
I know a lot about abortions.
All right,
ladies.
Yeah. Best way to pick up girls though is at abortion clinic.
Exactly.
Because you know they're down to fuck right there.
Exactly.
That's where you gotta
I've
go.
been down that road before, and you can just take them right back.
I know people who use abortion as their contraceptive, and I don't talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
We're gonna move on from that though.
We'll move on. I guess that's not a very popular. I don't know. What else do we got, Adam?
Let's talk about scary shit.
All right, sounds good.
So, if anybody out there, I'm talking to you like you're really gonna answer me back right now, but that elevator Brazilian creepy girl thing, you've seen it.
Dude.
See, I'm not gonna see it though because I'm a fucking coward. Like The Sixth Sense ruined my life.
Yeah.
Like I saw that movie and I literally did not sleep for 2 days afterwards. What I did, I stayed awake until I just passed out.
Exactly.
Creepy, scary shit like that just ruined my life, and I haven't seen scary movies since then. So I'm not gonna watch this. So tell me what happened.
I watched it because somebody said very funny. Not that's not the best title for it. I mean, it was scared the shit out of me. But it's this little girl. Actually, they have a person go into an elevator and they have the lights start blinking, and all of a sudden the lights go out, and you see this little girl crawl out of a panel. And by the time the lights go back on, it's this little scary girl holding a teddy bear. And the lights go back on, and all of a sudden the person sees that the little girl's there, and they freak out, because the lights were just out. It looks like a ghost, and it's just crazy what they do in Brazil now. Like, I used to love Brazil because of their women with big fat asses.
Yes.
But now I love them because they don't give a fuck. It's just, like our shows, like Impractical Jokers.
Yes.
Their big thing is, let me see if I can touch this guy with my nose without him noticing. This one, it's like, let's see if somebody can have a massive coronary. They just don't give a fuck.
And I don't even understand how that's entertaining at all. I mean, for us maybe, watching it happen is pretty funny. It's like, fuck you.
Put yourself in their shoes. The people that are in the elevator, No. Somebody ran the hell out of the elevator. It was a grown man ran out screaming.
Then that would be me.
It was.
I don't care, like, from the middle of the floors. I'll fall to my death. Yeah. Fuck this. I'm not watching this creepy little girl. What, isn't she screaming it also? Like, she's shrieking and crying?
The big thing is at the end, she just screams, and then you see the person actually scream, because it's the scary... Like, I watched Tommy Boy right after just to try to get that shit out of my head, and thanks for bringing it back up.
I couldn't deal with that. Seriously, if Sixth Sense ever on TV, I just leave the fucking room.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm like, 15 years older than I was when it first came out? Never.
Sixth Sense, I was with a girl when we went to go see Sixth Sense, and I was the one that was leaning towards her and holding her hand. It's just I'm a real pussy when it comes to that stuff.
Nah, I remember I left the movie theater, went to the bathroom just to get myself recouped.
Yeah.
But that was fucking terrible. Scary people fans, God bless you. I can't fucking do that shit.
I don't want anything to do with it.
You're more grump than I am, obviously. I'm wearing a shirt with Will Arnett on it right now. So what else is going on in the news lately? What I heard about here, because I apparently don't keep up with the news at all whatsoever, that there was a homeless man in New York City. And, of course, because it's New York City.
There's a few of them.
Few. Yeah, there's one. One guy. But apparently the story is that he had no shoes on, and a cop came to him and tried to help him and give him shoes. I heard the story on the radio, and my question was, how did the homeless man know what his shoe size was when the officer asked him, what is your shoe size? When he first said, I never had shoes before in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see how how it correlates there.
That's one thing. Like, I'm the most jaded person. I think the cop hired the person to take the picture of him because I don't trust anybody. But it's also like, if you really want to help the guy out, leave the shoes in there. Bring out a fucking job application for the guy.
Absolutely, or at least whiskey.
Because now, like, there was a story actually today I was reading that the homeless guy, because the picture went viral on the internet, and now the homeless guy is trying to make a profit off of it. Get a job, you homeless piece of shit. Sorry.
That's the way to look at it. That's the way to look at it.
There you go.
You can make your money in America a lot of different ways, but internet, obviously not, because that's what we're doing right now with our lives.
Nice.
That's terrible, and a lot of terrible things going on in the news, from what I've heard. Also, the sports world is shocked and devastated by a backup linebacker killing himself and his girlfriend.
Tragic. No, it's tragic. Tragic what happened. That's Long Island. Him and Lindsay Lohan this week.
Yeah, that's the one.
But, you know, it is tragic what happened, but now they're having memorials and they're talking about how he's such a good guy. I don't give a fuck if he was a priest. He killed his 3-month-old baby's mother. The guy should never be spoken about again. They shouldn't have said, oh, the Chiefs, they scored on their opening drive for this guy. I don't give a shit. Don't mention the guy. He's a piece of shit. And I don't like him. He stinks and I don't like him. But
I had to drop the Kansas City Chiefs defense because of it, so
exactly.
It kind of ruined my weekend.
Yeah, it affected us. It affected us. But, you know, like, I guess, yeah, I heard, I think it was Baltimore also, because he ended up killing himself in front of his coaches.
Yeah.
And in Baltimore, one of the grounds crew ended up killing himself at the stadium. I think it was Baltimore. I'm not positive.
Oh, it's Cleveland.
It was Cleveland.
It was Cleveland.
Yep.
Well, I don't blame him. He lived in
Actually,
Cleveland.
I read it on Facebook. But, you know, bad things happen in threes. So, Mark Sanchez, I don't know.
That's not a bad thing, though.
I know.
If that happens, they'll be rejoicing in the streets of New York City.
Mark Sanchez, A-Rod, they're saying he's going to be out a couple weeks now, you know.
Oh,
but
really?
it's good for everybody on Facebook because they don't have to hear me until about July, say mid-July, until I start bitching about how much I hate A-Rod. So it's good for you guys.
Thank God, because I know that's what I had to deal with for most of the summer this year.
Exactly.
And how terrible he is that your team only won 95 fucking games.
Seriously.
And, yeah, really. I mean, my team just signed, you know, our mid-level third baseman for the next 8 years.
Congratulations, because he'll be great in 5 years.
Yeah, it'll be wonderful when he's the only person on the team whose name you can recognize and is in Spanish.
It doesn't end in a Z.
Z, S, O, some kind of retarded fucking vowel. Or
He
the
doesn't
letter
have
Z.
one of those, whatever those squiggly line things is in his name.
I don't want
Wow, I
to
sound freaking ignorant as hell right now.
No, you know what it is, though? It's accurate. Because you gotta look at it at this way. That's the way baseball is.
Yeah.
It's a game for the Spanish people, and white people just pay to go see it. That's like basketball, too. Same way. You want to go black jokes? All right, we'll go black jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point, though, this is our material. This is what we're going to do with our night here. We're just going to... I hope you're still watching this, because if you are, you're probably thinking, why did I fucking watch the first 12 minutes of this nonsense?
What the hell is wrong with you?
What is wrong? I don't know. So, let's go back into... Let's talk about bombing again on stage, because that's a lot of fun. What did I want to say about bombing?
I'll tell you one quick story.
Yeah,
While you're
okay.
thinking. I was doing a show in the city, and the whole crowd, there was no audience members that got their tickets. Everybody was brought in by barkers, and if you're not a comedian, you're not familiar with the term barkers. Those people in Times Square, you see, they're giving you free tickets to a comedy show. So the barkers were successful in getting a group of 30 Asian men who were on a business trip that didn't speak English to come into my show. So it would be bad enough that I sucked that show anyway, and I was drunk, and now they have no idea what the hell I'm saying. So you could have heard a mouse fart in that fucking room.
At that point, though, I don't think it's a bad show. I think it's a fun show. Because then you can basically do whatever the hell you want to, and there's no consequences.
Yeah.
No one's going to see it or even talk about it again.
Yeah, exactly. Unless
you're watching this podcast here. Because they'll just go back to their, their fucking boat and where they came from, and say, oh, what did you see? Oh, fucking some Godzilla.
Some guy talking about a dildo for 20 minutes.
Gotta pull out the dildo in the bar joke for that
There you
show.
go.
Because nothing else really made sense at that point. You should have turned...
The Pope got a Twitter account. Did you know that?
I do now.
I started following him today on Twitter.
Oh, really?
He's not tweeting until like the 12th, I don't think.
Why is that?
But he already has like 2.9 million followers on Twitter. And that's 2.9 million more than Jesus. He had 12.
That's about right.
Yeah. But that was just something to say.
Well, I'm glad the Pope has a Twitter account, because maybe, I'll what hashtags would he do? Hashtag anti-homosexuality.
Yeah.
Hashtag fucking really cool slippers. I don't know. What does the Pope do now? I don't know. He has his own country.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all he needs. Does he really need a Twitter account too?
He doesn't need a Twitter account. He's not gonna. I want him to refollow me and retweet like my Lindsay Lohan vagina joke or something.
That'd be good. If I can get the Pope,
if I can get the Pope to retweet a vagina joke,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll definitely use some kind of ADD nonsense joke, and if I can get someone out there to retweet it, not just the Pope, if I can get fucking you to retweet it, that would be great. Because I have like 70 followers. It's getting sad now at this point.
I think I have 56 now. on Twitter. I never tweet. I'm a Facebook.
I do all the time, and it's terrible.
I'm a Facebook whore.
You are. You link them up though together.
I know, but I don't go on to my Twitter. There's too many friggin' people. I don't know. I enjoy looking at things, but I don't tweet. I think if I just put it up on Facebook.
All right. It's a good way of trying to get attention in the old-fashioned way of just
social networking. You do 140 characters or whatever the hell it is.
That's what makes it better. Because you really got to think about your joke in those cases.
Yeah, I know, and I hate that. I hate thinking about my joke.
This is what we're doing right now. We don't think about this shit. Hey, look, ready? You can't see that. But that's what we came up with. It's just fucking words on it. And there's lines on it. That's what we just came up with tonight.
Yeah.
This is 2 weeks in the making.
Exactly. Yeah,
this is 2 weeks in the making
right now. We
right
didn't have a show last week, so this is what you get for 2 weeks.
Hope you enjoyed this one. So that actually is our podcast. That is our time because Giants are going to be on soon.
Yeah, got to watch the Giant game. Even my Bills won this week, though.
Oh,
which is,
good.
That doesn't mean anything to anybody either.
Thank God they beat who? Jacksonville? Oh, good. All right. I think me, you, Evan Weiss,
and Bubba X.
Zone.
He had a very interesting set this week at Ziggy's.
I wish I was there for that one.
It was also he was drunk, and it was very interesting.
Drunk shows are fun as it is, but when you're already drunk and your name is Bubba X Zone, he's gotten more mentions on this show right now than
I think we mention him every week.
It's getting to that point. Yeah. Next week's show is going to be about Bubba X Zone.
I love him.
We'll bring him in.
We'll bring him in. Yeah.
And
one of these next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's just I don't really want him in my house, so we'll probably have him via satellite.
Yeah, exactly. We link him up via
satellite. From his backyard.
Yeah, from the room where he composes his Final Fantasy music.
That's important stuff right there.
I love him though. He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. And, I think he actually is a very funny guy though.
Yeah. But thank you very much for watching the podcast. I will be at Crossroads in Hicksville on December 8th.
December 8th?
At 8 o'clock. Yep.
Woo!
It's going to be a lot of fun.
I will be in my apartment all week.
Woo!
Doing online Christmas shopping.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm using a credit card that actually is declined. I hope the stuff comes to me first before I actually realize the money's not in the account. So
exactly.
That's what I'm doing with my week. But also, we will both be on December 15th at the Broadway Comedy Club with Kathy Arnold, Dan LaFaro, the Evan Weiss, and many others. So if you're going to be around on a Saturday, 6
that's going to be a fun one.
p.m.,
6:30
p.m., yeah.
And it's in the main room, I think, at the Broadway Comedy.
It's in the main room?
Yep.
Wow, I'm going to show up then.
I think it's the Richard Pryor something or other.
Room?
Come down. Yeah, room.
Richard Pryor something room.
Yeah.
The fun room.
Yeah.
The boom boom room.
Exactly.
That's where we're going to be. Okay, so yeah, come down to Broadway Comedy Club. We'll be there December 15th. So we're going to be signing off now. Follow us on Twitter, because we need followers again.
Mike Keegan Comic.
Yes. Adam_DAP. Like us on Facebook if you want to. Watch our podcast if you still are. Thanks so much for watching us. Again, my name is Adam.
My name is Mike.
Thank you very much for watching. Have a great night.
I love you.